Make sure your treasure is buried, your parrot fed, and the rum is poured. It's time to set sail on another Patches and Rum podcast, exclusively for members of the History of Pirates channel.
Here we are yet again.
Welcome.
Hi.
It's before we even begin. We've got Tigry Kitty becomes a member. Holy crap. Thank you so much. We're going to do our first pirate member giveaway. I'm going to match it up with the Drunk 3PO1 this month. Just going to get it all done in one shot. And Lulu Blue out of nowhere. So we need 10 more pirates up in here.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
On top of that, she also says we need more pirates in here. That's right. $5 before she drops a 10. Thank you, Lulu Blue. I'm glad some people are getting some fun out of this. Was just talking to my man Captain Stash a little earlier. We gotta give ourselves pirate names and change them when we come on here.
I was actually thinking the very same thing.
I'll do it next week. I don't really have one yet, but eventually.
There we go.
We were going over the
Captain Stash. What happened to the one that you
Stash.
just grew? You shaved it off again, the narrow one?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
It fell off.
Yeah, I'll find it somewhere.
we were talking about the Star Wars movie leaks and he's like, I'm so glad we have the pirate channel for some fun. So we hope everybody here has some fun. I hope. Are you playing Sea of Thieves tonight? There could be a possibility that we run a quick hour of Sea of Thieves right after this podcast. Could be. We'll see how it goes. Steiner Mass says, hail to Captain Stashless and his salty crew. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Get to
the
work.
captain up there. What are we doing? And I tend to lean to the left. So there, that looks better that way. Now, if Kings and Wiki can turn that way, we might be. I don't know.
Is that okay? And I gotta move.
Lady Marie
I
says,
can't do
what
that.
the
I'm
heck?
far away from my mouse.
Where's your background? She's on vacation.
I'm away.
It's her vacation
Family.
background. Yeah.
She's
how
in
that
the brig.
works.
Yeah, I'm in the brig. I got in trouble. I burnt the chicken again.
Not only did she burn the chicken, I don't know. I was trying to think of something clever, and it just completely.
As long as you don't burn the biscuit, everything's good.
Doug was like, "What's your shirt, Wicked? What the heck?" Oh, she's gonna
It's
show it
me.
off. Showing off her merch there. Look at that.
Apostrophe.
I just had an apostrophe. Hello to me.
Very good. Very good. Well, we try to be here twice a month and go over crazy pirates of the sea. I guess. I don't know.
Pirates of history.
Wonderful description.
Aye.
This particular week we chose another female pirate, but hail to the pirates is Stuart H. Hail to you. Appreciate y'all being here.
Run out of female pirates.
Yeah, I was just saying tonight is Mary Reed.
Aye.
Mary Reed, most famous for hanging out with Anne Bonny of all things, but she does have a crazy backstory. Maybe it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, what's going on with her.
We didn't write a lot of stuff down back then. We did the best we could, but yeah.
Everyone was drunk. So.
Aye.
And half the stuff we did write down, we're not really sure if it's true.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
we just
people
had
say
to
that a lot of the people that wrote it were men of, was it? I don't know if they were Catholic men or whatever, but something like that I read, and they didn't really care to write about the women because back then. So could be true.
probably a lot to do with that. To be honest with you, I thought this was the Pirates of Butts channel, bro. You're in the wrong place. I suggest
I'll send you the link.
I suggest. Yeah. Very interesting story though about good old Mary Read. One of the Wicked's actually right. A lot of stories they didn't want to involve females because females were looked down upon back then, and they most pirate ships felt it to be a curse to have a woman on board.
Mhm.
They would rather be
The King's
womanless.
Navy. Yeah,
Most
that was an old
most ships in
superstition.
general, like even a merchant vessel wouldn't want women on board.
Why is that?
I think
Terribly bad luck.
Oh yeah, it's bad luck apparently, and I think it kind of goes back to the idea of Jonah.
Hmm.
Elaborate.
Everyone got,
Yeah, yeah.
quiet.
Give me a little bit.
Okay.
I thought it was
more.
the story
Jonah
of
Hill,
Jonah.
the fat kid from Superbad.
Jonah.
Yeah.
No, the story of Jonah from
Jonah
the Bible.
and the whale.
That
That one.
that he doomed his crew because
Right.
he had disobeyed God, and I think the idea was that a woman
Being
leaving
a woman is disobedient. No, I'm kidding.
or a woman leaving to go on a ship by herself was somehow disobeying God. I'm not really sure how, but
I see.
apparently it was.
Hmm.
So
No,
yeah,
I read
so
it on I have a book about women pirates. Like I haven't finished it yet, but that's how the book started. So that's where I heard it.
really, it started with Jonah.
No. It started.
Oh,
No, it started with the historians didn't want to write about the women, so there's not as much record of women pirates as there is men. Like so much about Blackbeard, but then some of the women we just kind of maybe you know what I mean. You get
I just kept a sign on my boat. It said "No girls allowed, boys only" on the side of my galleon.
No girls with a U and a Z.
Yeah.
he also listed the number of diseases that ship was carrying. So
Why
that
do you think I said no girls allowed?
He let birth out
trying to
and look
get
what
'em.
happened.
I mean, that's the thing too. If you had a crew of like 20, 30 men and there's one woman on board, and you're out at sea for like 2
Be
months.
busy.
There's
Well, that's
definitely
another part,
there definitely could be some shenanigans that go on that could cause issue or rifts within the crew. But Mary Read was a special gal where,
Yes.
according to records, and then we'll start with her early life, but some of the highlights is that she dressed like a man, was able to serve in the military, was able to be on pirate ships, and for the most part, never be detected that she was a woman. For the most part,
She was like
there-
Mulan.
Her mom was crazy.
Well, a
Yeah.
lot of the stories that I read said that she wasn't really detected ever and only showed herself if there were when she's with the Dutch military, she gets found out because she tells the guy, "Hey, I'm a woman and I'm in love
The
with
guy
you."
that she marries, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
before that, though, the reason why she was a boy was because of her mom.
Well,
Or-
right.
yeah,
wait
we'll
in the
get into
beginning.
that. But
Okay,
this
I'll
is
wait.
the biggest controversy: is no, King's Advisors does not have a fake beard. He's been
Absolutely
growing that
not.
for like
100% real.
7
That
years.
is
Absolutely
au
100%
naturel.
real.
Yep.
And
Completely real.
it's soft as silk and as firm as rubber, I guess. So that's
Sure. Yeah, we go with that.
so let's
What did I tell you about getting into the rum reserves, Jay?
so let's dive in to the story of Mary Read. Mary Read was born, according to certain historians, in the late 17th century, around 1690-ish, and she had a horrific, harsh childhood. Her father died before she was born, and her half-brother Mark also passed away. So apparently, Mary Read's mother was married, and her husband went out to sea and never came back.
Whoops.
Yep.
I might
They
have had
did,
something to do with that.
yeah. So she did have a son, but the guy went out on a boat and never came back. I don't know if that was Stede Bonnet or what, but went on a boat and never came back. And then she ended up having an affair, or I guess technically she got pregnant with the man and they weren't married. And if you didn't know, back in those days, if you got pregnant without being married, you were shunned and looked down upon, and they made
You
you
were
wear a
not
scarlet
serious.
letter and all that stuff. And so she
They
went
even
and
wrote
gave,
a book about that.
yeah, they did. And so she
What was
went
it
out
called?
to
I think it was called the Scarlet Letter.
Scarlet Letter.
Okay. Never read
They
it.
went out to she went out to a private place where she gave birth to Mary, and Mary's half brother passed away. So in order to keep everything in balance, she dressed Mary as a boy and claiming that you are now my son that passed away. You're going to be Mark.
Well, and there's another part for this. So not only was it to hide that she had had a child out of wedlock, so she dressed him as William. I think the son's
I think
name
it
was William,
was
wasn't it?
William. Yeah.
And passed her off as him to avoid the shame, but also continue collecting money from her
yeah.
mother-in-law.
And so
Yeah.
began the woke mind virus. In
Yeah,
17
Yeah.
Wicked Steel for 5. Hail all Captain Stash, Captain Drunken Jay, and Captain Wicked, and the guy with the fake beard. There you go for $5. It's a
That's
real
hard
beard.
as rubber. 9 months
Yeah,
to see, you
I
start
was-
saying weird
Oh,
stuff.
it's hard as rubber.
Thank you, Wicked Steel. For the 5. Mountain Mud for 5. Wicked actually brought her pirate hat on vacation. That's more dedication than you other rum swinging landlubbers. Yeah,
Swingin'.
that's true. That is true. And look who has blessed the chat. Krista Nova says, "Hail, Captain J."
Hail, you wench.
Yeah, that's right. We tip our hat to you, Krista Nova, who is going to play Sea of Thieves with us one of these days.
Is
So
she?
good to see you here.
That'll be
Oh,
fun.
yeah, we're going to make it happen. I promised that I would play Animal Crossings, but in exchange,
Crossing.
Uh,
That game. I have heard of
yeah.
that.
And I see you guys over on Rumble. Thanks for hanging out over there as well. Everybody say hello to Krista in the chat. She did an awesome park hopping stream. It was fantastic. But imagine, okay, so being like back then, like how does a mom like convince, like how do you grow up your whole life like you're gonna have to be a boy?
I feel
Like,
like
you're gonna have
it wouldn't
to
be hard to convince the
Winston.
kid.
Yeah.
That's not hard to do. And especially she seemed like such a rebellious spirit. And, we'll find out as time goes on how much of
Yeah.
this is true and how isn't. But
Yeah, she had her
it
do
was
for
way
15
better to
years.
be a guy.
Yeah.
You want to be a dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because really, women back then, they had two choices: you get married and have kids, or you work as like a cleaner in some like rich person's house, basically.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah. They added this in
Stash
Florida.
here too. Captain Stash. Yeah, I forgot to put up my pirate name. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that would have some kind of traumatic effect. Like they
Well, it clearly did.
Yeah, and then when
Yeah,
she
but
was
you want to know what's
15
crazy? According to reports, she didn't, even though she dressed and acted like a boy and
Yeah.
spoke like a man, because a lot of the people saying like only the men were allowed to cuss. Like that's how strict it was back there, that women weren't allowed to have a twisted tongue or whatever it was. And when Mary and Anne Bonny spoke,
Mhm.
you were like, dear God, man, they sound like a man.
You've got
Yeah.
a mouth like a sailor.
Yeah,
That,
it's like what? Who taught them to speak that way? They're ladies. Like, what's
Have you
wrong
seen
with
the cage that they used to have? And this goes all the way to Victorian era. They would put a cage around a woman with almost like a horse's bit in their mouth with spikes, and you would take them on a leash and walk them around town with this spiked bit in their mouth to temper their mouth if they spoke.
This sounds like a fever dream.
This is a real thing. I mean, it's terrible. So would it be hard to convince a young girl, hey, you should act like a boy? No, you could do whatever you want,
That's why
early
Wow.
1700s, late
Holy crap.
1600s.
The Scold's Bridle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a real
Scold's
thing.
Bridle. Pretty disgusting.
And you wonder why they're mad at us all the time.
So here, sorry, Wicked. So yeah,
I
here's
beg
the
your
thing.
pivot.
So Mary, yeah, correct. Kings is right. They got money from their grandmother. I guess it's how the system worked back then. Like you got to pay it forward to your family.
Well, I think
fair-
the grandmother was like really upset that her son had died, and she felt necessary to continue to provide for her daughter-in-law and grandchild.
Grandson that wasn't their grandson. So on top of that, Mary real father's dead. Stepfather's dead. Older brother's dead. And now at the age of 13, apparently her grandmother passed away, their only source of income.
Mhm.
So Mary still dressed as a boy and had boyish habits and had to find a job at the age of 13.
She
And
got
what's the
started
best
late.
place to find a job?
Either a servant or the military.
Yeah, her mom also, you forgot to mention that her mom was like, okay, you're starting to show, so you got to be a girl now. When she hit puberty. And then you guys know that, right? Did you
Well,
read
she
that?
joined the military first, right?
She did? I thought that when she
Yeah,
hit
she
puberty
was
at like
she was
13,
in
14.
she was in the friggin' Navy, man. They put her in. They put her
No,
in.
She was a powder monkey.
Yeah,
I thought she
So-
decided to do that afterwards. Like she
Right.
was
There's
doing
conflicting
the woman
stories
thing.
when
Oh,
she
yeah.
started to walk into her figure that her mom was like, all right, we're walking around town. I can't introduce you as Mark. They're like, what the freak are you feeding that boy? Something's going on here. Something's happening here.
his memories are unusually
Yeah,
large.
it's like what causes that? Like, does he have a tumor too?
Not a tumor.
So it
Well,
says here
yeah.
that Mary became a foot boy, whatever that is, to a wealthy French woman who lived in London. So I guess she just
That, like,
whatever she was told
What's
to
a
do.
foot boy?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just reading the history archive here.
Oh, it's a page. It's a page. So
okay.
in high society, everyone had their footmen. The page was
So
called
it's like get me something.
yes. So it was kind of like the person the kid you'd bring with you to pick stuff up or open the door for you and stuff like that.
Yeah, think about medieval times. You were a page and then a squire and then a knight. Page was like your go get whatever I tell you to go get.
Yeah, so like in high society, you had pages, hall boys, footmen, under butlers.
You just rang a little bell.
What's so funny?
Can you get
Easy
my
chat.
socks?
Easy chat.
Yeah, I won't highlight those. Why
is that one always sitting down?
Yeah. Got to be something going on. She said that the few years have passed and she became very bored of her job. Man, what kind of dang? It's just like you're 13 years old. Your mom's like, I ain't got nothing for you. Off you go. So you try to acquire a job where you actually can live in the facility that you're going to work at. So yeah, a page and all those things would probably would work out well for a moment. But it said that she got very bored and she joined the army where she met her future husband. After confessing, and she was on according to this historian, she snuck on a man of war because it had a lot of men on it. And so she was able to hide herself because of all the stuff that was going on. She took like one of the hardest jobs. She always worked way below deck where it was extremely dark.
Yeah, man of war is almost 800 men running a
nobody
big man
wanted
of war.
to go down there. She was a little smaller than most men. She was able to fit a little bit better, and she was able to keep her identity.
Yeah, she's
constantly dirty and right.
And
So I guess people wouldn't like. She got something. Does that man over there look a little curvy to you? It's like,
well,
it's just
also,
loaves of bread. You know, this is where I keep my
our
food.
clothes weren't very flattering back in the day.
No,
I mean, but it wouldn't surprise me that
not a whole lot of Lululemon there on the on the galleons.
So now here's the question for the only female that's here: do you think, Wicked, that you could dress like a boy and get by a month without anyone noticing? If you cut your hair, if you went all out, do you think it's possible?
Yeah, but she'd have to it depends on how well endowed she was, but she'd have to tape or something. She'd have to be I don't know. Clothes were kind of loose back then, weren't they? So maybe
there is a quote from the deposition of Dorothy Thomas in 1720. And the deponent further said that the reason for her knowing and believing that these were women were by the largeness of their breasts.
There you go.
That's don't get me in trouble.
But this was
document.
The quote.
This was when Mary Read was 13. Was when she was.
She was still a little.
She was She was about 15 at this point.
You could still, I mean,
Yeah.
blouses
Yeah.
and things of that time, they were, again, form fitting was not a thing.
Well,
And
so I
I'm sure
think
the
was
dirt
really
helps being
close.
covered in dirt all the time too.
wasn't she like 15 or 16 when she joined the Dutch army instead of? I think she was on the
She was
Navy ship
around-
for like a year.
Each
Yeah.
historian has a 1 year like up or down.
Well, it
So
all depends on who has her born when.
yeah, that's the thing. But still, and it's just like, I mean,
There's a 13-year gap in history where they think she would have been born. It
All
was
I'm saying
1680 to
is-
1693, I think.
the history of the time. Now, this we know is certain that if you were 12, 10, you had every right to join a man of war ship and go to war. And you were, and some of these young naval children were in charge of like grown men.
Yep,
Because
were
they
midshipmen.
went through like naval academies and stuff like that. Actually, we saw that in the film. What movie was that with Russell Crowe? Master and Commander actually
Far
had
Side of the
like
World.
literally children
Mhm.
in charge of like bringing people to kill other people on a boat. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just because they were able to go through the Naval Academy at an early age, and so that's what was happening with them. But it's fascinating that at that time it's like, hey mom, I got nothing to do. Well, she didn't tell you to go play outside. She's like, go join the military, and I hope to see you in a couple years. Good
Go
luck.
do something with your life. Bye.
Yeah, it's like that's it. Don't come back here. There's nothing for you. 12 years old. Like you look at the 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds today. It's like I look, you look at them and go, I don't know if they can. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would want to trust my naval, my Navy with like the 12 and 13-year-olds of today. It's crazy to me to think that. But here we are. Yeah. So now I guess that's why for an early run, she was able to probably go non-detected. That
as a kid,
probably what it was. It says here that while she was part of the army, she met her future husband. She confessed her love and her true gender to him. They both left the army, married, and opened an inn called the Three Horseshoes near Castle Breda. I think that's what it is.
Three Horseshoes.
Breda Castle
I
in
feel
the
like that's an
Netherlands.
interesting name.
Three Horseshoes.
Horseshoes.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Then if you support, how come you're not a channel member? Come on, man. We need to get the cannons going.
Come on, Guggenheim.
I'm
some food for us.
And then it says that sadly, Mary Read has always been surrounded by death just a few months after marriage. Now she's got to be around 16-ish at this time. Roughly. She's already married. They're starting a business. It just freaking
That's a full-blown adult at that time.
It freaking blows my mind, dude. It really does. I'm not trying to compare it to the youth of today, but I know they're out there somewhere, dear God, and they're probably not on social media. A 16-year-old opening a hotel.
So
you know what I'm saying?
One of the things I found really interesting about this was it said what I had said that they used their military commission and gifts from intrigued brethren in arms, which I could just picture. You go down to your buddy that is in the tent next to you. Hey, I'm getting married to the dude that we thought was a dude, but now is a girl. And
I read something that at first he was kind of like, this is a nice setup, like nobody knows, so this is like a secret little hookup, and then he actually fell for her and then they got married.
Secret little hookup.
Yeah,
I knew it was a girl the whole time. I totally knew. I 100%
everyone
knew.
giving them stuff is just like, oh, I thought that was a boy.
Oops.
Pretty crazy. DJ Fisty for 5. Love the Pirate Channel. JSSBS. Oh, that's great. And Clyde has become a member of...
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Thank you, Clyde. And thank you, DJ50, for the $5 donation. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm just saying, the more I read about this, but it is true. People usually died around like 47, 50. Like they, that was the life expectancy.
It was like,
yeah.
High
So
school
it's
age
like,
of 40.
started your first business yet? Get
Yeah,
to
right.
work.
Having kids yet? Let's go. Come on.
that's why like it goes back to those old stories, like when great grandpa was like, when I was your age, I was delivering newspapers at 6 years old. Then I went down
10
to the
feet
old
of snow. Don't forget the 10 feet of snow. There was always 10
I
feet.
killed
Yeah, I
my
had
first
to
man
walk.
at 8 years old.
Yeah, it's always uphill both ways.
Yeah.
Crazy. Look at all the get to work emojis in the chat. I freaking love it. Every time there's a member. Everybody's asking me about Black Flag. Yeah, I think all of us here have played that. So
Yeah, Mary Reed's in Black Flag.
she is.
Yes.
Steiner Math for 5. Insane 12-year-olds back then had so much responsibility when now you can't buy a coffee from a 30-year-old behind a counter without them messing it up or having a meltdown that they put on Twitter.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That
And-
thing from a couple years ago.
yeah, crazy. I have to work.
I had to work 8
hours.
hours.
Oh my
Shout out to the 200 people over here. Thank
That's
you.
cool.
Our
Did we break
goal,
a record?
the record was 280, 285,
okay.
I think. Yeah, one of these days we'll hit 300. It'd be awesome.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so now we're guesstimating here. Mary Reed's almost like 17, 18 years old. Her husband just died. Her bed and breakfast is in ruins now.
She's starting to age out from the dating pool at 18.
Yeah, at 18.
Well,
and,
so before she but after her husband died, she went back to the military. She was like, "Well, I know
I was getting there. The Dutch ship. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, "I know it works. I'll go back and do it again."
So you're talking about a woman dressed as a man who's already had, imagine that she fell in love with a man even though she dressed like a boy. She wasn't interested in this. That's a whole nother conversation. But
you should have had that queued up. It's ma'am, the guy in the store.
She goes back. Now she's got, she joins the military again. So now you're talking 16 to 19-year-old woman that has some military training. She has naval training. So she's not dumb, when it comes to life on the sea, right? And that's something that she enjoyed. So it said that she joined the army again, this time as she boarded a Dutch ship that sailed to the Caribbean. Almost at reach of the destination, Mary's ship was attacked and captured by a pirate. Anybody know the pirate name?
Calico Jack.
Calico Jack.
Calico Jack Rackham.
How did King said it different?
I said Calico.
Calico.
No, you didn't. Calico.
You said Calico.
I forget what I said. I also
That's how them Jamaicans said it, Calico.
He was getting ready to start a dance. Calico Jack took all the English sailors as part of his crew. Unwillingly, she became a pirate. However, soon after she started her life as a pirate, when she had a chance to leave Rackham's ship, Mary decided to stay. And on Rackham's ship is where she met Anne Bonny, and they became really close friends. Do you think so if all the other guys on the ship are like, yeah, that's just a weird looking dude, do you think another woman could sniff it out? Like, wait a minute here.
Probably.
So
as soon as they hit cycles and they matched up, they knew.
My reading had it a little bit differently.
Why is John being so snippy?
So my reading had that the pirate that took the ship bound from the Netherlands was not Calico Jack. That it was a different pirate. And then she joined that crew in mutiny. Or no, she then went and she joined the crew, pirated for like a year and a half, then took the king's pardon from I think it was 1718. Then went and became a privateer, and then mutinied the privateer, and then met Calico Jack.
That was a busy lass.
Yeah.
This sounds like a One Piece storyline. I love it.
I mean,
Always
it,
like One
it
Piece.
sounds like a movie.
Yeah, I was getting. We were gonna bring up the other part of another historian as well. Look at that. Pirate wrongdoing is here.
No
Says,
such thing as wrongdoing. Not
Ahoy.
when you're a pirate.
Hail Captain Drunk. Thank you for the member message and thank you for being a member. Awesome to see so many people here. I love it. I freaking love it. When I started these things, I was like telling everyone we might get 15 people. I don't know. The fact that there's over 100 people here is freaking amazing. Now, I'm going to show a photo. I hope YouTube doesn't take it down. This is a work of art that you can buy. So the story goes, when she was on the pirate ship that King's Advisors was talking about, she fell in love with a scrawny little guy. And correct me if I'm getting this wrong, and this was after her husband died. She's been at sea. She's a little bit older now. And this guy wasn't the greatest. So whatever he did on the ship, he was good at, but he was terrible at fighting. So we got into a fight with another pirate, and and he was like, "We're gonna duel to the death," all right? Because that was the law of the pirate ship. Mary knew that the guy that she liked was probably gonna die, and she was like, "I'm gonna challenge him in the morning before he challenges you, and I'm gonna beat him." And they're like, "How can you can't do that, my lady? You're a woman. Like, I'll be disgraced as a man. No one knows I'm a man here." She goes to the duel. She beats him with a sword, walks over him while he's laying on the ground with a stab, apparently. She opens up her shirt, exposes her boobies to be like, "You just lost to a woman."
It's
Pulls out
man.
the gun and shoots him right between the eyes, dude. And all the pirates that were on the ship that watched what happened never said a word to her. Never was like, "Don't mess with this woman. Don't do that." Like she was like, she walked back on the ship and everyone kind of like, whatever they did, they laid the swords down or whatever. They're like, "We're not going to challenge you." And an artist like drew this. This is one of those classic paintings you could see. So you could see the sword on the ground here, and she's just like, to add insult to injury, she was like, "You just got your butt kicked."
Isn't that
by a
awesome,
woman."
dude?
What?
What's the old adage? Hell hath no fury.
Like a woman's
Yeah.
scorn. This is like this would be the female equivalent of teabagging.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
She milk-bagged his ass. She milk-bagged him. She got him good, dude.
I think it was worse than that because the fact that you would, in those days, the fact that you would lose a duel, because it was the same thing. It was the rule was you were back to back. And I find it amazing that these two people were going to fight to the death, but they still honored like the rules of the duel, right? I guess because people on the ship were watching, because they're like, "Dude, if you don't honor this, like, we don't want you on the ship." 10 paces, turned around, and they charged each other with a sword. Now, most of the time it's turn around and shoot, but according to this story, it was turn around and charge. So they charged with a sword and they fought, and she had military training. Now, I don't know if she had sword. I'm assuming she learned a lot from the military and being on other ships. And she was just able to, knock the dude down and then like, "Hey, right before you die,
check this out.
I just want you to know you died to a woman." Click, click, boom. Like, God,
Admiral said it in the chat. One last mercy, but also at that time the greatest insult.
It is 100%. Where's this comment? But yeah, Admiral, correct. And walking back as a hero or whatever it was, she was like scared. That's why. But there are other historians tell different stories here and there. That she was just after this moment, she was extremely vicious. Every time they took prisoners, she wanted to slit their throats in front of each other. Like she wanted to do it in view of everyone, and she wanted to be the one that did it. Just cut people's heads off. She didn't want any witnesses because, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit because Jack Rackham took over a ship. When she gets on the ship with Anne Bonny and Jack Rackham, they took over a ship that had a woman on it. And you guys know this story. Mary Read wanted to kill this woman, and Jack was like, "Nah, just let him go. Like, she's harmless. She's a woman. Just let him go." And Mary's like, "If we don't kill her, it's gonna come back and bite us." And sure enough, the same woman that they let go free testified at Anne Bonny and Mary Read's trial when they got caught.
Was that Dorothy
And,
Thomas?
Yeah.
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 So-
They could have, like, Mary wanted her dead, like gone, you know? And Calico Jack was like, who was the captain? And they followed the orders of the captain, said, "Nah, that'd be all right." And it came back and bit them all in the butt.
Something cool about this picture is in St. Thomas. I'll pull it back up because it makes sense for the
Gotcha.
story. In St. Thomas, they have Bluebeard's castle. So Bluebeard being the lesser known, everybody knows Blackbeard, right? But up at the top of this mountain, when you go all the way up to the fort, you take like a ski lift to get up there. They have these giant bronze statues of Teach, Sparrow, who was actually, so Jack Sparrow was actually a historically relevant character. They have all of these different pirates cast in these bronze statues leading up to the veranda where you can look over all the Virgin Islands. And one that sticks out because it has one very bright brass spot is Mary Read pulling her shirt open. And
That's
there's an
awesome.
exposed boob, and so her boob's all shiny because, of course, everybody walks up and touches the boob. But that stance right there is immortalized at Bluebeard's castle, which I think is just so awesome.
So something that's really kind of funny about what Jay just said is not only does that speak to Mary Read, but it also speaks to Calico Jack, because as we found out from our first one, if you weren't respected as a pirate captain, no one listened to you. So Mary Read listening to Calico Jack means she really respected him.
Yeah.
Here's another photo of the dueling incident with Mary Read. I like the other one better. But as you can see, they tried to keep her in, man's clothes to show like what happened. She's also wearing a hat here to cover her head. But yeah. Oh, this just became public domain. Yeah, that's right.
I'd love to think if we hopped on a pirate ship, we'd laugh at what they were actually dressed in compared to like what we think.
Oh, it was trash, man.
Yeah.
They imagine being in your clothes for 90 days straight. Like, what would they look like? And they were probably like all cotton, maybe.
Ask a Marine.
Yeah.
I mean, 90 days. The only time you wash them is seawater. Ooh.
Or when it rains.
My man, how you say that?
Isaac of the Dead.
Isaac of the Dead. Sorry for his. Has anyone here seen Black Sails? If so, thoughts. All right, that's a good question. I was out with my brother for his birthday. Thank you, X-Wing. And he wanted to know if people on the panel or anyone in the chat would love to go over each episode of Black. It would take forever, but and just like go over each episode and just talk about it, and we'll put it on the channel.
Absolutely.
You know,
That
it would
could be
take, let's say, 4 seasons, and because he loved that show too. I enjoyed it. There is a couple, I guess if you call it woke or weirdness that goes on, but when it's all said and done, it's a Treasure Island prequel, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I think that would be pretty awesome. So
What's
maybe
that one
maybe
they
we'll do
did
that.
with Taika Waititi?
I don't
or
ever want to
something.
see
Our
that
flag
again.
means death.
Our flag
Yeah.
means you should do that one, Jay.
I'll never watch that show. I first of all, I don't like Taika Waititi. Second, they made Blackbeard gay. Of course he did, you know.
They also made
Steve Bonnet.
Steve Bonnet.
Oh, Steve Bonnet. That's right.
Yep.
So, you know, great. Good on Taika Waititi.
Good job, bud.
Hodor.
Here is another rendition. The reason why I brought up that duel is because that seemed to be like the turning point for Mary Read, like, and her history. There are so many like classic artists that portrayed, you know, like that duel. You can see here she's stabbing the guy again,
Yeah.
and there's the gun laying down by her side.
This is for a cigarette company.
I don't know.
Yeah, Alan
Oh,
and
yeah,
Alan
there
and
it
Victor
is.
cigarettes.
The duel from the Pirates of the Spanish Main
Oh, it's
series.
a
Yeah,
trading card.
yeah, it's a
Oh,
trading card.
How
that's
cool would
so
it be to get your
cool.
hands on one of those?
Trading cards from the Pirates of the Spanish Main. All right, somebody on eBay, look it up real
Oh, we
quick.
need
See
to
if they're
find
selling
some of
them.
those. Dude,
got
they're
it.
Issued in
gotta be pricey.
1888, a set of 50 cards to promote, cigarettes. That's crazy. But to see, like,
Ooh, they're actually not that
see
expensive.
how they have her kind of like a woman, like with looks like they have lipstick and earrings on,
Yeah.
but she has the short hair and a hat. It
It's
wasn't,
just in a ponytail.
most pirates wore earrings anyway, so it wasn't like she could get past all that. And like you said, yeah, like they wore probably, like, if they dressed anything like England, they probably wore
Stockings and
pantyhose and
yeah.
and all that stuff too. So
What a cool
one of the
photo.
it's pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
One of the worst photos, and before I show that, Steiner Math just says, I want to be part of the crew and you should be part of
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
We have a rule here, chat. When we get gifted subs or someone becomes a member, you got to spam the chat with "get to work." You got to let them know.
Work.
Spam the chat. You know.
So
Let's
here's a
see.
Mary.
Check the
here's a Anne
private
Bonny
chat,
one.
Jay.
I see it. I'm gonna play this one more time.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
There we go.
That's 1958.
Ooh, I'm really close up. Sorry, guys.
What's that?
Oh, I was really close to my camera. I didn't realize that.
Did you get excited?
No, I got scared for everybody else.
Holy crap. Now they're starting to come in. War Machine has gifted
Oh my god.
another 5 memberships. And on top of that, DJ Fisty becomes a member. Boom!
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work. I'll never have to lift a finger again.
We got to get a bigger ship. That's the thing. Thank you guys so much. That's freaking awesome. Both of you. Like, that's look at all the memberships coming in. I think you guys like to see the little cannonball. Let's see. Where are we? You said you sent something in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1958
That's
trading
all. That's all I could find for the cigarettes thing.
Wow, someone's selling it on Etsy of all places?
Yeah, Etsy, not
I think
eBay.
it's a reproduction.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would have to
probably.
imagine it's a repro.
So this is the
Here, let me show.
this is the Anne Bonny one. And it's for sale for $600.
I couldn't find the Mary Reed one, except for it
That's
still looks
Mary Reed.
cool. Yeah, this I know. I mean, that's the only one. Like, that's it. I looked at like 10 pages. That's all I could find.
Man, can someone send a super chat so I can buy a Mary Reed? Holy crap, that would be awesome to own.
That one, I like how that looks too, even though she's not showing her boob.
That's the duel. Yeah, that's probably what they look like. The sword.
It looks
Oh,
kind of
dude, it's-
like accurate. I don't know. I like how that would be a nice like framed picture, like a big one. I like how that looks.
That's pretty sick, man.
Kings put another one in that 600.
yeah.
That one looks cool too.
Let me pull that one up next. All right, this guy looks a little funny. Hold on. Oh, that's a woman. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's
Kings got excited
Anne Bonny.
again.
Let me pull up the photo. All right, here we go. Man, I like it better when they had sexy Anne Bonny. I don't know what this is. That looks
She looks
looks like a dude.
Well, it was 18. They made this in like 1888.
okay.
I've had worse.
Oh
That'd be at
man,
Tortuga, huh?
Nice.
that's
Spain
so
hands.
cool. I did not know they had these things. I didn't know these things existed. I must find them. I must.
Yeah, man. Trading cards like gum on cigarettes.
I must find them. Oh,
I knew they did that, but I didn't know they did ones for pirates.
The Mary Reed
Yeah,
one looks
cool.
so freaking
I
cool,
like that one.
man.
Is there
Hold
more
on, let me
than one
pull.
available? I want one. Jay's gonna
That
get
pull
I'm
this
looking
up.
for like a legit Mary Read one.
Cardo trading cards, pirates, Mary Reed, woman pirate. Mary Reed was the tomboy daughter of a sea captain dressed as a boy. Look at that. They even give like a little man. Trading cards would teach people something. Oh, that's so cool. This came out in what? I got to get off this page because I'll start like checking the bank account and all that stuff. $50. That's not bad.
Mm-mm.
That's
But
not
it's
bad at
Etsy,
all.
so after
Ooh.
shipping, it might be like 100. Etsy does that sometimes. Maybe not for a card. But sometimes
50
shipping's a lot.
total for me would be $62. That's not bad at all. Hold on. I'm gonna save that page. All right. Going back, the most famous picture of and then we're gonna do the end of what happens at the end of Mary Reed. So after that duel, Mary Reed gets taken. Her ship got taken over by Calico Jack, and Calico Jack was one of the famous pirates of the Caribbean that had a couple big scores. Calico Jack probably, while other people kind of criticize Calico Jack as like kind of like a bad pirate, like he didn't really do that much, Calico Jack successfully pulled off a mutiny on Charles Vane. Now, if I haven't done a video on Charles Vane yet, but Charles Vane was a psychotic. He was one of those
That was a dirty boy.
crazy pirates.
Yeah.
He did unthinkable tortures to people when he wanted information. Unthinkable. Like, I mean, he was the not pulling out your toenails or thumbnails in front of you. He's just cutting off fingers like 3 at a time and making you eat them, kind of
Criminally
sick.
insane.
And nobody wanted to cross him. And yet, when there was a large French frigate that came by, Charles Vane had one thing he didn't do. He used his brain and was like, there's no way we could take over that ship. I'm going to turn around. Calico Jack then goes to the crew. Now, Charles Vane and Calico Jack have been actually close friends for a little bit of time. And Charles Vane knew who Blackbeard was. He modeled a lot of his stuff after Sam Bellamy. Sam Bellamy was like the king. We talk about Blackbeard, but Sam Bellamy was like the crown jewel of pirates, honestly. Your mic's muted?
Me?
X-Wing? Oh, I thought you said something. I heard your lips moving, but so then
You
so
heard
Calico
my
Jack
lips moving.
my bad. I saw your lips moving. Calico Jack pulled off a successful mutiny and got Charles Vane marooned on an island with a couple people that still wanted to follow him. So this was after the king's pardon. There wasn't very many pirates left in the Caribbean anymore. They took the pardon, and he was like, we're still going to do our thing. Had a few successful runs. Did have Anne Bonny on. Did not know Mary Reed was on the ship until Anne Bonny discovered that there was another woman. And now here they are. Here they are. In a story that two different historians tell. They went to take over a ship and they discovered that the ship probably had too many guns for them to handle. And Bonnie went below deck and found like a mannequin that was used to sew clothes with, put
I
fake
love this
blood
story.
all over her face and herself with a hatchet and ran around the top of the deck looking like she was cutting people's heads off. The ship then surrendered immediately because they didn't want that to happen to them. When they took over the ship, there was a woman by the name of, what's her name again?
Talk about Dorothy. Dorothy
Yeah,
Thomas.
Dorothy.
Dorothy
Where they got information from, and Mary Reed wanted to kill her. So they Calico Jack says, no, let's set her free. They set her free. Calico Jack's crew then took over another merchant where there was a lot of treasure and gold, and they decided to celebrate, and they all got extremely drunk except for the women. A pirate hunter came and found Calico Jack and his crew, and they all were scared to fight. And it was Anne Bonny and Mary Reed that led the charge. Mary Read killing most of the people from the other crew. But when they discovered they were women because they took their shirts off apparently to distract the crew, showing their boobies, they ended up getting captured anyway. And Calico Jack was a coward in the back. Now, what I don't understand is they all got arrested, and Anne Bonny was furious at Calico. Her boyfriend was like, "You're freaking coward. I don't want anything to do with you." What I don't understand is if your ship is being taken over, where are you going to go to hide to think you're going to escape? Like, is it just mesmerizing fear to
hide in the barrel?
Yeah, it's like, why would you go into a room and lock the door thinking, oh, they'll go away soon, not knowing we're here? Like, what?
So the only thing I can think of is the fact that the guy that they were being hunted by was Jonathan Barnett.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he had a reputation of killing pirates. I mean, he captured them a lot of them. But I guess the only thing that would make sense is they said, okay, well, we don't want to die today. So if we hide and then they, give them control of the ship and then we come out and be like, hey, we're don't kill us, then they won't kill them. But that's the only thing, because I think one of the things I read was that they were requesting quarter while they were down the hold.
But here's the thing: you're a pirate. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna get tried, and you're gonna hang.
Yep, you're gonna.
So it's like,
might as well go out with the splash.
It's like, yeah, man, go out with cannons blazing, man. Like, whatever. Like,
well, maybe they thought they had the chance to take that ship. They thought if we just wait, bide our time, let them think they got us, and then we'll. Of course, as we were talking earlier, in a speech that the governor gave about this capture, he says that they had 18 pirates aboard. So how you're going to take over a pirate hunter's ship with 15 pirates?
The crew, the Williams.
Yeah, because one of them and Mary Read killed when she fired a shot into the hold to like say, you bastard, sorry, you cowards. That's what I meant to say. You cowards.
You're good.
How you're gonna do that with 15 men? Doesn't make any sense.
I'm a little Clinton.
Sorry.
Beautiful.
You're okay, man. You can cuss. It's all right. Clinton says, here you go, Jay. A little trading card money. Dude.
50 doubloons.
Clinton, man. Y'all get me all emotional, man. Like, I am going to buy that card after the show now. Thank you. I see Doug B's here. Dirty Jersey. Lulu. Lulu's been here from the beginning. Admiral's been here from the beginning. You guys are freaking amazing. 235 people. Clinton says, which is the most romanticized era, samurai or pirate? Even though both would not be fun to actually live in, why would you choose pirate? Freedom, high adventure, honor, love of the sea, or something else?
Pirates are way more romanticized than samurai.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Way more.
They're one of the things I think is kind of interesting is every group of people have like their own hero. The Japanese have their samurai. Navy people have the pirates. Americans have the cowboy.
Europeans have the knight.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's great? Like, pirates, like those romance pirate books are.
They're wild.
They've got the big voluptuous women. You know, for some reason the buttons don't button up. You know, and it's like, you know, the girls are all like, I'm in the high seas, and it's like it's so lonely here. And then the buffed out guy with the white shirt that's flowing in the wind while he's holding on to the rope.
Don't forget,
you know,
you think there's a reason I bought the white shirt?
Little tattoo, a little scar, long flowing golden locks. Yeah, very
Fabio hair.
Very romantic.
Fabio hair.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Pirates of the Caribbean. All the women on there were like, you know.
Keira Knightley.
The reality is, I hate to say it, is that the women probably look like this.
Yeah, frumpy, don't even begin to describe it. Not to mention the teeth were horrible. The armpit hair was coming out. They probably had a little bit of a beard and a mustache, unibrows.
A little
They-
bit. Maybe
they
that's
were-
why it was so easy for them to pass. They probably had a thick stash.
Yeah, thick and chunky.
Thick.
Just
Now
the
you wouldn't know
stank.
anything about.
Hold on a second. I got to get this out of the way, and then we'll talk. Doug B,
Doug B.
another 50. This is for
50.
both.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Get some more pirate clips. This is
But you
becoming
know
my
what?
favorite show.
After 9 months, no matter how smelly or hairy,
You would, is what you're saying.
yeah.
Doug B. Look at all the black flags in the chat. And Clinton, thank you guys, man. Holy crap. And everybody, Lulu dropping 10 gifties early on. Wes, I mean, all the people. Steiner Math, War Machine, DJ Fisty, all you guys, man, just dropping stuff like no one's business. Lulu gave 10 gifted subs before the show even started. You guys are just freaking awesome, man. I appreciate it. Dirty Jersey for 5. We Americans particularly romanticize pirates just like cowboys
Ooh,
and the mafia because we are a nation of outlaws. It's in our that's a excellent point, actually.
Having cowboyed, I can tell you it is romanticized.
Rebellion. 100%. It is in our blood. It is in our blood. That's a great point, Dirty Jersey. Yo, pops for 2.
Oh my god.
Scurvy.
Yeah. I think everybody can read that. I think everybody got that. And Westward Smile says, here you go. 5 more.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Look at all the thank you, Westward Smile. It's only like $2.99 to be a member here. And yeah, these podcasts immediately flip over to members. We're gonna do our first giveaway if you're a member, even if you were gifted. I love giving stuff away. I have too much in my home anyway. But holy crap, you guys are awesome. But yeah, the more we study about pirates, toothbrushes weren't invented yet. They never washed their clothes. There was no razors to be found. I don't know what kind of bra system they had back then, but it probably was just like flopping and flying. And I'm not sure how all that worked. But yeah, it's probably pretty gross, actually. That's why people didn't live till like 50. They just got sick. When you read stories about people of old, and it's like, yeah, my husband got sick and he just died. Well, what did he have? I don't know. He just died. He just died. So it's like, well, there it is. Dead. But Mary, we'll finish out our story. Mary and Anne Bonny arrested, went to trial. And the woman that they wanted to kill comes back and testifies against them, claiming them to be pirates. They were both sentenced to death. And Anne Bonny, they wanted Anne Bonny to watch. Yeah, I got it. Anne Bonny to watch Calico Jack be hung in front of her. And all she did was say, man, if you fought like a man, you wouldn't die here like a dog. Imagine you look down at your loved one. I love you. I love you, Anne. You were the love of my life. Well, if you fought like a man, you wouldn't be here dying like a dog. And
That's
Bonnie and Mary
beautiful.
Reed both went back to the judge and said, well, we're both pregnant. So because of the laws, there's no way that they would have. It's like crazy, too. There's no way that those women would have died because of execution, because of the laws. They would not, in no way, would a government or anybody else kill an unborn child. Even if these were, they were sentenced to death because they were killers and everything else. But because they had 2 unborn children, they were like, nah, we're not. Okay, even though you were sentenced to death, we're not going to let you die. Eventually, Anne Bonny, and that's a tale that we told another time, Whit probably gave birth, and she kind of disappeared from the pirate scene. But sadly, Mary Read caught an illness, and just like every one of her family members, she died in prison before giving birth. We don't know who the father was or anything like that. And thus ends the tale.
Such a happy tale.
I
I'll
know.
tell you something that's kind of interesting.
Pirates had a terrible ending. Either they got their head cut off, died at sea, marooned, starved to death, or hung,
So
Horrible.
something that's really kind of interesting about her trial was in the court, she goes, by the way, I'm pregnant. Then she also says, by the way, I have never had sex with anyone outside the bounds of marriage.
Yeah.
On this ship.
Immaculate.
Her husband was dead.
So how are you pregnant?
The only thing that I read too was that when you are a captain of the ship, you can perform a marriage and is legally binding. Even though that was in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, it's a real thing. So
international.
You can do it now, right? Like if you're a legit captain, you can.
So Calico Jack might have performed the marriage between one of these people in the. Maybe it was the guy that she defended during the duel. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If that's true,
oh my gosh, I'm
I would just expected for that name or that fact to be part of the record. Like her apparent, I have never done it with someone outside of marriage. I would have expected to have both of those facts.
Don says, I don't see the gift membership. It's right here, Don. Don with a gift.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
And Brian comes in hot with a $1.50 super sticker. Thank you so much. Freaking awesome. I didn't mean to cut you. Go ahead, Kings. Finish up.
No, I find it weird that from the record that we have, which admittedly is not much of a record. That we got to see.
Everybody on the ship rejoice. We've got a young pirate on the way. Big old pirate on the way.
I lost it.
Yeah, the stream has been derailed, but that's okay. We're back with Retro Collective for 5. Join.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
I love seeing those get to work emojis in the chat. It's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. But sadly, yes. A pirate's life is not a romanticized life. I don't know of. I think the only one. Forget it. Doug B says, shut up and play the curtain.
Well,
hold on a second. Look at his face. What is she so sad about? Oh. Does she even know she's highlighted on the screen?
What? I was looking at. I'm just letting you read the chat. What?
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Welcome.
Crap, man. Doug, Retro.
Do they know what they signed up for?
You guys are going to get scurvy. We're probably going to cut one of your legs off and use as a fishing bait when we need it, when we get hungry. You know?
You got to be careful near Captain Stash.
God, be wary around
Careful.
He's there. He's a master baiter.
And Ron says, I got 5 more that want to...
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
You guys are unbelievable.
You fools.
Yeah, you guys,
you fools.
First thing you guys are going to catch is an STD. Anyway, going on. Oh, look at this. Tigra Kitty. Can you guys do this weekly? What will it take?
I love that they give you the phonetical spelling of the name to make sure you don't mess it up.
So
I have no problem of doing it weekly. My fellow crew, they all have lives unlike me, and I didn't want to put that much pressure on them. But I am so glad that you enjoy this so much that you guys, man, it just brings, you have no idea. It brings so much joy to my heart that you guys like this so much that you want more of this. To be honest, this wouldn't even be possible if it wasn't for them. And we're missing one who was trying to get here. Seaman Lee. He will be back. He will be black. I almost said he will be black.
He'll be
Sorry. He will be back. I shouldn't be eating crackers while I'm live streaming. What's wrong with me? But yeah, he will be back. So I couldn't do it without them, man. These people here, Wicked, who helps with the thumbnails and the titles and everything. Kings, who does a lot of the research, and X-Wing just being my boy, like through all this, like they are the heart and soul of this whole channel. So I support them. All the links to their channels are in the top of the description. They're the heart and soul of this whole thing, and I love them for it. So
the only way this ship sails is the crew, and you're looking at them in the chat right now.
That's for sure. Greatest chat in the world, Mr. P or Mr. Privateer for 20 says, "Here you go, mateys. What are we gonna do with $20? What are we wasted on? I'm gonna gamble."
Hand him a brush.
If I had $20 on one of those ships, you know, I would be gambling against King's advisors saying, "You're going to do my work for a week while I sit and rest." Or if I lose, yeah, that's right. You're going to clean the head. That's what's going on. MASH says, "I want to see the cannons. I've become part of the crew."
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Can you highlight tigers real quick again?
Here's a toothbrush. I had chicken last night. Get to scrubbing.
Which one?
Tigers.
The super chat?
Yeah. So what was so funny about this is the first time they did I think it was a membership. I had to do a double take because I thought it was TYGER, and that was the name of Barnett's ship that took the Mary Reed ship.
That's pretty cool. Well, if you also want to support the channel, they've been dropping links to our awesome merch. You can go to the YouTube channel. I'm actually in the process of like switching stores, but don't worry, everything's still kind of together. Where I got like these in the mail, like some of these testers with like History of Pirates hats. I'm wearing one of the hoodies, you know, that has that on there. There's also like, these are all the testers. I want to make sure like it's good stuff before, you know, I don't want to put it out there.
I like the white.
Yeah, the little white around. Yeah, they sent me. What is this called? Like baseball style, whatever.
That reminds me of the on a hook when they have the baseball game.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's all pretty cool. It's out there. It's all out there. But thank you all for supporting this channel. It's so much better than talking about Star Wars.
What be these tales of the stars you're talking about?
Second star to the right. Keep going
straight on till morning.
Yeah. Dirty Jersey for 5. Jay, did you ever visit Tortuga while in Haiti or get close to it? Love all that you and the panel do. Keep it up, mateys. Actually, yeah. So Tortuga
to Tortola. I didn't go to Tortuga.
Is actually called Latoti. That's how you say it in Haiti. So if you go to Haiti and say, "I want to go to Latoti," that's Tortuga. And you have to take a boat out there. And when you get up to a certain place where you rent a boat, it's almost like there's a bunch of wonderful people. They're all out there. They all have boats, a lot of Haitians. And they're like, "I'll take you to Latoti for $5. I'll take you for $6. You get what you pay for. You pull out a $2, you're going to get on something. Biggie. And some of them are rowing out there, man, but they will get you there. So, you know, I did visit it, and yeah, they have a lot of like
I will get you there. When? Tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much. Just rest, sir. Rest. Just rest. We'll get there. I was like, there's a big wave coming up. Oh, yeah. I
Bob
can't
and
see
weave.
it.
Bob and weave.
I mean, it's oh man. Tiger Kitty says, "Hey guys, it's me again.
Tigra.
Tigra Kitty. Just wanted to say you guys are awesome.
You're
Tigra
awesome.
Kitty. All right. No, you're awesome. Thank you. Lot says if you go to Haiti, you might get shot. Well, I've lived there for 3 years. So Smash Monkey says favorite Disney pirate movie and scene. Anybody want to go first?
First attack of the Black Pearl in the first
on the
Pirates
town.
Movie. There's no better Disney pirate scene ever. I love the battle between the first attack of Port Royal. I love the scene when they're fighting on top of the Dutchman and the Pearl, and it's going inside the maelstrom, and they're swinging and fighting and stuff. That's awesome, but nothing beats that first scene. Incredible.
So
and they're walking across the seabed in the moonlight. Oh, come on.
I am a sucker for a good speech. So
who would have thought?
Exactly.
You.
I'm a sucker for a good
Elizabeth
speech.
Swann's speech as the Pirate Queen. In is it Dead Man
That's
Tales?
3.
Yeah,
When they're all lining up, the Navy's on one side, the Pirates on the other.
So raise the colors.
Yeah, raise the colors.
Love that one. But I think the favorite is the first one. I think the first one's the best.
Yeah, I don't think I could pick a scene, but I'll just say the first one was my favorite. There's so many good scenes and lines in those movies.
I love them all. I know not everybody likes certain ones, like the 5th one might have dragged it out a little bit too much. I love them all.
Who's the captain played by Javier Bardem?
Yeah.
Salazar, Captain Salazar.
Yeah,
he was sick. He was so cool.
I love Davy Jones' story too. It's so
and I know sometimes it got a little weird. They pushed the magic maybe a little too much. I loved it. I loved the Queen Anne's Revenge had a special sword that made the wind blow on it for Blackbeard. My favorite scene that set up the whole movie, dude. There will be no greater entrance. It's very hard to top this entrance of Jack Sparrow holding on the ship, and the way the camera was like, he's all smiling, like, and the music's hitting, and like the wind's in his face, and the sun's back there. It's like, da 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 da, and then you finally see it, and the ship just sinks.
Yeah.
He steps.
That is exactly the Rose Tico crew that we play in Sea of Thieves. That's like our theme.
It's unbelievable.
We did it.
I've tried to mimic that several times,
bro. Yeah. That scene, like, it just sets the tone for Jack. It's perfect. It's freaking perfect. It's just the way the camera angle is all like. They use that cut picture for like a lot of stuff.
Imagine if that music was different, though. I'm such a music guy. Klaus Badelt and Hans Zimmer, what they did for that franchise with their music, it can't be, dude. That's next to John Williams for me.
It's next to
Howard. Got a smoke screen. 81 just became.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Yeah. You guys are freaking awesome. We got a couple. I see you kings in there. That Raging Cajun for 15 says some booty for your chest. I appreciate it. I actually have been looking online. I want someone to find a real treasure, a cool pirate treasure chest that has one of those locks where it's like the four corners. It's hard to explain. It's like an Avery chest. Is that what it's called? Something like that. Where like the key goes like on the top and you turn it.
And all the things pop out of the sides.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They're so like you see a lot of toy ones like gift, but like no one's out there making a real one. And no one out there is making real models of like the Queen Anne's Revenge or the Wida, like the exact replicas, not just the ship they put a pirate flag on it. Can't find them anywhere, man.
I still remember that phone call. You're like, you can't find it anywhere. I hop on Google. I'm like, bro, first thing I click on it and I'm like, oh, that was like the boat from Peter Pan and they're calling it Queen's Anne Revenge. What?
There's only 2 ships that have accurate models: the USS Constitution and the HMS Victory.
Yep. And
only 2.
Titanic's out there too, but I guess it's not a U.S. ship.
Wood boats.
You lived there for 3
Awesome.
years. Story, please.
Jay walking the planet. Go subscribe.
I was kind of like doing mission work, so I stayed out there for a little while, and I ended up getting stuck out there for a little while longer while I was trying to get these schools built, and finally got the mission done, and I came home traumatized for life. So there's that.
Yeah.
But I learned a new language and met a bunch of amazing people. out there. It's Creole, so it's a little different. It's like como ye. That's like same thing as parlez-vous français. Yeah. Anyway, Rover boy.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Boom. 5 new crew members. We need a bigger boat. We need a bigger boat. And look at this member message from Kang Admin.
Kang Admin. Who's that?
Sounds familiar.
Oh, favorite pirate game. Man, mine is I have to say, as much as I really love Sea of Thieves, and I love it more because you play with friends, that's Sid Meier's original pirate game, like back on the DVD. When you put the DVD in the computer, is that what it's called? Sid Meier's? Where you could like visit the governor and talk to his daughter and all that stuff. That I love that game, man.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag will always have my heart, man. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than furling out the sails and you tell your crew to hit a shanty and you're rolling along and a Spanish galleon comes along and you can just unload full broadsides, like, and then you hook up to the boat and you jump on it and you're killing everybody on the deck and you got to kill the musketeers on top and chop the flag. Get out of here.
Monkey Island wasn't terrible, but the man, that's Sid Meier's, man. Where you just it's like
really good.
It's just like you build your own, like it's up to you.
And you gotta make sure everyone's fed. You gotta make sure there's enough booty in your chest, otherwise they're gonna mutiny.
Yep. And you had a sword fight, and like it's like, should we then you get these little pirate, like these little treasure maps where you get like half the map and it's like the treasure's here.
And you gotta go
try to figure out where it is.
Every pirate we're ever gonna talk about is on that list of like the top 20 notorious pirates. You're climbing that list.
Jay, when we're done with these books, we need to make a pirate game, a real pirate game.
Why not do it all at the same time? If the first book does 1 million,
we're making a game.
We're making a game to go with it. Let's freaking do it.
So my favorite
favorite pirate game. I didn't want to pass you up. I'm sorry.
Probably Sea of Thieves. I haven't played many pirate games, actually.
Have you played Black Flag yet?
Pirates of the Caribbean game?
I haven't played it myself, but I watched like the entire gameplay of it. I gotta play it myself.
So there was a Pirates of the Caribbean game that came out with the movie that was very loosely based on the movie. That is my favorite game.
That was a lot of fun because you got to duel. You can do the dueling, but did anybody in the chat, if anybody played it, there used to be a game that was online multiplayer, and it was the Pirates of the Caribbean online multiplayer game.
Yep.
I played the heck out of that, dude. I loved that game, man. It was so much fun. And then
what else is
they
good?
closed it off eventually.
Pirates of the Caribbean Lego was actually really good too.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
It was fun because you play the movies, like Wicked knows. You play the movies and it's like it's a lot of fun. Clyde for 2, can you name the bigger boat sloop dog? I cannot.
No.
It's already named the Rose Tico.
I cannot.
Yeah.
Master for 20. I can see why you're drunk. Oh, like staying in Haiti. That deserves more booty. Sid Meier's Pirate. Am I saying it right? Mears.
Yeah,
Sid Meier's Pirates. And I have the 2004 version on. Yes, that's the one.
I have to go try that. I've never played it.
It's
it's hard to play on our high-powered PCs now because
it's on Steam. You can play it on Steam.
Oh, it's on Steam?
Yeah.
It's like $1, I think. It's really hard to play though, because like your computer's like so fast and it's like this game like trying to catch up. It's crazy. Thank you for the 20. Man, one of these days maybe we'll talk. If you anybody want to hear my Hades stories, they're crazy. Steiner Math for 2. Looking forward to Skull and Bones. Everyone?
Actually, yes.
No.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
I think there's one of the things that I think a lot of people have forgotten is they told everyone when the beta came out, we turned a lot of the game off because we already knew that stuff worked, and we want to make sure this other stuff works. So there's a lot of stuff that people said, well, we didn't get this, that is actually in the game, but they just didn't enable it for the beta.
Hopefully they will. Biggles Mets for
Yeah,
5.
I do hope it's really good.
Jay is a One Piece fan now. I am. And he needs to play the One Piece game, and maybe that will be his new favorite pirate game. Isn't there like a bunch of One Piece games?
Yeah, I just played one actually, believe it or not. So I would have never touched anything anime if it wasn't for that show at all. And I tried to watch the anime show and I just wasn't into it. But there was a game, it was a Luffy game where you like run around, you play as Luffy and you get to beat people up on an island. It was called One Piece.
Luffy?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was a lot of
One
fun.
Piece, yeah. What the heck? X-Ray Girl raid? Krigler raid? What the feet?
Oh.
What?
The feet.
Oh, I love this one.
Feet.
X-Ray Girl
Okay.
sends her regards.
What the heck is everyone raiding the pirate channel? Krigler sent me. Do we gotta get Krigler wants to be a pirate. He
I
always
know.
gets sad. Yeah.
Get him in here.
Yeah. It's time. And then X-Ray Girl raided the pirate channel. That's really weird.
Thank you. That's what he meant to say.
What the freak?
That's weird.
Yes, thank
No,
you,
it's
everybody.
I know.
Random. Listen, this channel's like off the radar. It's like only like select
Clearly
few
it's
come
not.
over here, so it's pretty
Not
wild
anymore.
that they would do that.
What does Beckett say? The world is shrinking, Jay.
It sure is.
Oh, and that's another reason those movies are so good, is because it kind of talks about this. I'm gonna get too philosophical. Never mind.
Why?
Shut
You
up
like
and
it, just
welcome the
speak.
crew.
All right, can you say this name?
Raceland Majeri.
Magier? Raceland Magier?
Raceland Majah.
Raceland.
Welcome to the
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Thank you.
Were we close at all on the name?
Yeah, we need to know.
Yeah, we definitely need to know.
Yeah, please type it out with spaces so we understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Clyde for 2. What's GOG has pirates? Easier to run on new PCs.
GOG.
Oh, it's
It's a gaming
it's a-
service. Like
yeah, it's a
Epic,
service.
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Give
what?
me a second. It's kind of like an online Steam, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Awesome. I did not know that. That's something I need to look into.
I have a game
Doug
on
says,
there
"What the feek?" Yeah,
with the feet.
it's hard when I'm like reading like 5 things at once. I'm seeing like Krigler, and then I'm getting text over here. So yeah, sometimes my brain is trying to answer something else
Good
while
old
I'm
game.
speaking.
That's
Good old gaming. There it is. Good old gaming. Well, if you're new here, this is the History of Pirates channel. We try to do it live every other week on a Monday where we talk about some of our favorite pirates. And it's fun. It's a little different. We don't talk much pop culture, but we do have a good time. And,
This is the best place to be on a Monday night.
I'm
Let's
reading
be
the
honest
private
with
chat.
I
each
love
other.
it. I love this.
Let's be honest with each other. This is the only place you want to be on a Monday night.
Maybe once a month I don't know if we can, but once a month we could do those
Oh, I
rum
got you.
streams, but it has to be more than 20 because we'll die. I'm just saying.
I think it has to be more than 20 because of
50.
me.
I think once a week Jay should
Yeah,
do,
because then X-Wing and Kings won't stop burping. That'll be half the stream.
Jay should
Was
Jay's
I
gotta do a
burping?
stream
Both
once
of
a
you
month.
were. Both of you were burping. Pretty.
I'm trying to have a dry 2024. So
That's why we
that
can't do
stream
it.
was like
We'll
the
take care of
last
it for
time.
you.
Holy crap. That was That was the last time I hit the rum pretty hard.
I drank too
But
much
if
that
you,
night.
whenever you got to go, Captain Stash, it's
Oh
okay.
no, I'm here
All
until
right.
we hit landfall.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. But yes, so if you're new here, why not hit the subscribe button? And I think we're gonna have to bring Adam. We'll find a cool pirate, and I'll invite him for the next live, which is in 2 weeks. If he's available. And look at that. Brian, he's like, you know what? You guys convinced me. I want to catch scurvy. I want to run with a bunch of men for 90 days on the sea. I want to eat nothing but rotten, gross bread with worms in it. That's what I want. Well, welcome.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
I
Boom.
love my hardtack and rum.
I'll
Go
take some
find
grog.
Lieutenant Thatcher for your first assignment.
And be careful. If you don't treat Wicked with respect, she'll put something in your chicken. That'll
Aquatofana.
She walked there
Yeah,
cooking it.
That's right. That's right. So be very, very careful. Welcome to the crew. But that's it. That's our show. These podcasts get flipped over to members. So if you are a member, you can catch all of our live streams that we've done. And oh, wait a minute. We've got a clarification. Here we go.
Ray St.
Ray
Lin
Saint
Mujahir. Mujahir.
Imujir.
Look at that avatar, man. It's beautiful.
I thought so. I was thinking it had to
Mujahir.
be Middle Eastern less than like Spanish. That's why I didn't say Mahire or
Ray
Ray
Oh my
St.
gosh.
Lin Mujahir.
the ST just means it's ST. Doesn't mean it's Saint.
St. Lin?
Raceland Mir.
Majir.
Raceland Mir.
They didn't teach me how to read, all right?
My
Got a
gosh,
headache.
over.
Part of the Naval Academy.
Ah,
On a serious note, if you guys really want to see more of these live streams, let us know in the comment section or
aye.
wherever we're at. You know, even if you catch us on other live streams, just say X-Wing, I like it better on the, and we'll do our best to try to bring them to you because I enjoy them a lot, and I hope the rest of my crew does as well. And on
There's
that,
enough love, we'll bring it to you.
yeah, Greg, the Goblin, with a $20. Look at that. Says absolutely nothing. This dude came into the bar, looked around, picked up his real,
Ruger blunderbuss.
yep, picked it up, looked around, set it on the table, said, "Here you go, fellas. Have a nice
20
sail.
doubloons for you, lads.
I've got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing else for you. Happy
We need a
sales."
video of you firing that.
I'm waiting for a special friend to make it to Florida before we blow each other up with a
Just
with
how
a
much we
flintlock
hate
blunderbuss.
watermelons.
My brother's like, we're gonna shoot it in his backyard. So he's like,
No way.
yeah, he's like, we probably got 2 shots before the neighbors call someone.
Complain.
So yeah, so
Two?
he's like, so we're gonna like set up. He's figuring out all the cameras, and he's like slow motion camera and like all the safety equipment we might need because he read that a lot of times on those guns, and we should do a whole podcast on the weaponry. That could be our next one. When you shoot it, fire shot out and burnt the people's hand off.
Yep.
Well, they probably put too much
Too much powder in the
Gunpowder.
tray.
black powder in the tray.
I mean, when you're panicking and people are like running on, like, are you gonna sit there? All right, let me put a little bit.
yeah,
here.
let me count the little pieces.
Holy crap! And look at that, 5 gifted members, 5 new crew members, second rodeo.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Top of that, Julie. We love our female audience. That's why Wicked's here.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Okay, my abs are starting to hurt. No more laughing.
Look at those
Your
emojis.
arms are starting to hurt.
Everyone in the chat's like, you might want to get some bail money.
Yeah, I like that one. Get the bail money ready.
Sugar discipline. All
I told
that
Jay, I
stuff.
was like, dude, I'll watch a couple YouTube videos, but we should probably consult a professional.
Well, the crazy thing is,
Oh no, he's got
like, when you pull the trigger, it sparks this thing right here.
Yeah. You've been dry firing that thing? Put the gun down, Jay. Put the gun down.
What's the number one rule of gun
That's
safety?
called a flint.
Yeah, I know. It's
Number
pretty
one
cool.
rule of gun safety. You don't pull the trigger unless you're ready to actually shoot.
We're gonna go to shoot the thing. The flint's gonna be all worn down, and it's not gonna fire. We're gonna have to call the bomb department.
All right, this is a toy, so this isn't real. But this is the one I showed X-Wing before, and he shamed me. He's like, "Is that a real one?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Man, throw that thing away." So
Lame.
I might just give this away to one of my members since I don't need it anymore. So
It's a good
you
gift.
know, it's kind of heavy. It wasn't cheap, but it is a
Looks
toy.
down the barrel.
No, it's a toy. Because I think
I know it's
it's
a
filled
toy.
up. It's filled up right there. It's a toy. It's a toy. It's not real. YouTube. It's a toy.
I'm bringing Big Rob with me, man. He's gonna be
For all the
our
super
range
chats,
guy.
this channel's
I'm
probably
I'm actually red on the camera.
demonetized now because of that. It's a toy.
Toys. Rubber
Anyway.
band gun.
I'm a Florida man. We're allowed to do that, so it doesn't matter. All right, we love
when-
y'all.
That's like when Luke Skywalker just looked down the lightsaber, like.
We'll catch you on the next one, everyone.
Thank you for being a first mate and listening to the Patches and Rum podcast. Now get back to your station or I'll send you to Davy Jones' locker.